All right, so this is it for. I took this out to the car, or actually out to my phone with my earbuds, and it sounded so good. There was a few little ideas, do that thing, this turn this, to move that, but it was the best. It was kind of the best, just right out of the gate mix I think I've ever done. It really was. It sounded so beautiful. I played it for my wife, who's not, really a music person, and she's like, "Wow, it sounds so good." So, if the wife likes it, right? All right, so we're just gonna wrap this up now. Yeah, that's it. So, no automation. Oh, the only automation is I just turned the kick down, or the kick. Why did I turn the snare up? Oh, I turned the snare up because of the rim shot, which I'll get rid of. And I didn't want to put any automation because this is going to be converted into a template. So we're going to go through this real quick, and then I'm going to break it down and show you how I make it into a template. I'll be as fast as humanly possible. So let's just take a listen to it from the top. I'll start opening things, and you guys can just listen.
He got over you. He got over you now. I know when you know that things had to change. When the darkness surrounds you, taking all your hope away. I've been lonely too. I couldn't fall for you till now. Rely on the times that I held you. I told you everything's okay. The love I can give you will wash your tears away. You won't believe it, never had to be afraid. I've always been here, that'll never change. Can't get over you. I can't get over you now. Rely on the times that I held you. I told you
Wow. So going from, gosh, so much. It's hard to like listen to that song and not sing and play air drums. And the bass and especially the second verse is like, you can really hear it kicking out. Listen to this. This is great cash on bass.
I've been lonely too.
It's like that undulating thing. I love the way he plays bass. You know, he's kicking out the 2s and 4s. P bass on the knees, kids. Anyway, yeah, this song like is crazy. All right, so what we're gonna do here? Tell you what we're gonna do here. We're gonna go Command Shift U, Command Shift B. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save this as, because I'll bounce this out after the video for just so I have. I'll just call this for template. So we're gonna work from this now. So we'll blow this apart, and then I can go back to the other session. And so what we're going to do here is this. A couple things we're going to do. First thing we're going to do is this kick sample and this snare sample and snare Ms, which is also a sample. We're just going to delete those. We don't need those because that's just very specific to this song. If we pull in a sample, I'll just pull it in and throw a distressor on it. That's all I did. So we're going to come here. We're going to go delete. Look at that. So now here's my kick in, which has this thing, which kind of is just what I may do is I may just keep this kind of like, I don't know. I'm just going to keep it like this for now. And I may pull in pull in things and then immediately just come here and do a default to 0 and start from scratch. But I'll just leave it. For right now, it doesn't matter. And that's it. So I've got kick in, which has this. Kick out, which has this. Similar. So, it's got the low pass. Trigger has my samples. And those can be interchangeable with a distressor. Snare top. This was a big problem because of the ooh. So that's that. Yeah, that's not really going to happen. But, well, yeah, let's just get rid of that completely. That's beyond Thunderdome. And then another one. So we'll just get rid of these two here. We'll get rid of the snare top. This is like extra EQs, which I'll throw those on as I go. There you go. Snare bottom. Here's snare bottom. Just a gate and a distressor. I don't know. I think maybe that other EQ is how I EQ'd it, but we'll just throw that over there. So we have just a zeroed out. And then snare trigger has snare samples and a distressor. And then toms have this EQ. They're slightly different. Like the higher tom is emphasized around 110 or and the lower one's more like 90 to 100. A little flat, a little lower. With distressors, nothing crazy. That was the other thing too. I didn't want to go too insane on this. And then I got ride and hi-hat, and then overs just has, this is all these dips. Let's just get rid of all this. And rooms have all these weird dips to try to get that ring out of that snare that was just everywhere. So there it is, and then you've got so now you've got your subs, which I can keep this. Okay, so then I've got my 3 kicks here. All go. You'll see kick S, kick S, kick S. They all go right into here, and then the snares, top and bottom and trigger all go into snare, and then the toms go into the toms, and then everything else goes into the ride or into the overs. Which sometimes you can you can just take the rooms and bring them straight to the drum bus, and you can just from here just squash them or whatever. I didn't. This was just a general, and that's it. And just basic. I've got a drum verb that I've got it on the kick there, which I'll turn that down. So all this has to come down because for the mix, I want this all 0. The rest of it, this is like a standard 220 bump on the snare. That's a general kick. Yeah, this we'll just get rid of because we're going to have to kind of sort through that. And there's just a little bit of everything. Nothing great on the channels, but there you go. And there's nothing on the rest of these. So there's your. So now if I come here, and you'll see I cut out my toms, and I cut out my ride too. So now if I come here, and I go ring, we can just delete. Command Shift U, Command Shift D. Yeah, there you go. We can also get rid of all the markers. And yeah, and let's get rid of that little automation. So now if I come here, we can just kind of 0 these. I don't know. We'll just bring them down. I just like to start with them a little bit lower just in case I hit play and blow my head off. And then here's drum crush. And then we have drummed bus. So all of these have crushes on them, which goes to the bus, and then they also go straight to the bus. You'll see drum bus. What's beautiful about this is that this becomes the master volume of the whole drum kit. You can turn the drums up or down here, and it's got an SSL on it and a little clipper, and it also goes out to the grit track, which is down here by the effects. Let's get rid of this. That's the old Rely On, which we'll get rid of. So there's drums, right? Now bass, I'm just going to get rid of all the bass tracks because I just need the crush and you'll see what I've done differently here, and I thought about this. Everything that is crushes and busses, and I'm adding the effects here on the drums just because they're right here, drum verb and snare verb. The snare verb's kind of the Andy Wallace thing. And then bass crush and bass bus. You'll notice they're all this color, this kind of reddish brown color. And I went with the same color everywhere. There's the music crush and bus. You'll see same color. Here's vocal crush and bus, same color. So those I know are like buses and crushes. The only thing that's a little bit different is the verb and the snare. The verbs are here just because they're a part of the drum thing. I didn't want to put them down at the other end, so it's, yeah, there you go. We'll just turn those. That's fine like that. Okay, so now we go to guitars, and you'll see again all the instruments are, oh, shoot, hold on. Homie blew it. All the instruments are this upper left blue color. So you'll see G main, all the G. So that I look across, everything blue is audio. It's awesome. See? And there's my vocals paired off. There's my BGVs, everything. Simpler. Not like 3 or 4 colors, but it's once you're on it for an hour or two, it's like totally makes sense. So now I can come here and I can grab all of the guitar tracks and everything goes away because that's going to be specific for each song. But what I'm going to end up with is, you see, it's all blue. Boom, boom. Now I've got guitar 1 sub, 2 sub, 3 sub, 4 sub, acoustic sub, and keys sub. And then I can also make subs quickly on the fly. And you're going to see that all these subs have the same configuration. They go in order as they are. It's very much like an SSL as they are here. So if you look at the effects, and they're in order in the I/O. So it's like room, plate, hall, guitar verb, slap, eighth, quarter, they get bigger as they go, right? Room, plate is bigger, hall, slap, eighth, quarter, and then modulation at the end. So they're all here: room, plate, hall, guitar, verb, slap, eighth. So here's the one thing that I got to do, which is I have to zero everybody. Because this is what I don't want. I don't want to, and neutralize all the EQs. And I'll go through this and double check this. Well, no, I'm not. Well, yeah, because I'm going to show you how I make this. The music crush at the end can stay. And that's it, right? So if I come here and I go room, 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 plate, plate, plate. So I'm dragging them over. So each one of the plates is everything's zero. So when you pull in the session and you start putting it through all the subs, there's not going to be reverbs and delays. But all the faders are going to be there, ready to go. It's exciting. It's like he says it is. Doesn't seem exciting. Is everybody following this? So because what we're going to do here is this. Like 5 minutes, I'm done. We're going to make a template out of this, and then I'm going to quickly import it into something, and we'll figure it out. Or not. Well, no. You know what? We'll do that on another video. I know these videos are long, but these are tricky, and I moved the grid over there. These are tricky, and there's a reason, because I'm rushing as it is. So now all of these guys are, let's just neutralize all these, because we don't want any super anything going on. Distressor, we'll just leave that like that. That's fine. Got some BX shred spreads down here. We'll just neutralize them. Bypass. Yeah, and these are all set kind of, I think they're all pretty generic right now. All right, and then I've got my music crush, which sometimes I put a gain at the top of crush and effects, so I can, sometimes faders are up, you're not hitting it enough. So, and there is, I'm also lining these guys up all nice. Yep. And you'll see here on the CLA, this is like 12-1, so we're burying this. This is that music crush. This helps to park everything. And then music bus has a limiter and BX shred spread, which I'll just kill that. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, now we can come here. Again, grab all the blues, because these are all audio tracks. Man, I'm so glad I came, because my sessions literally looked like, you opened up, I don't know, what is it, those things, jelly beans, or, I don't know. It's like 50,000 colors. So now we're going to come here. We're going to delete. Boom. Now, same thing here. We probably have a lot of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this one. I'll keep this one, and I'll make it neutralized, and we'll drag this over onto all these so they're all dead. So they're just there. This is such a great plugin. I cannot tell you how, especially as a singer, this thing just sounds great. So there you go. And then you've got, 1176 is ready up. Distressor is ready. LA2A and Soothe. So we'll just, what we'll do? We'll just leave it like that. And then I got a limiter at the bottom if we're doing like modern rock. And it's got the all the same things with the room. So now remember, we're pulling these over. So these are all for those effects, but everything is 0. Because we don't want to, because I've done that in the past. I had the template, I'm like, oh, I might as well just leave this. And all of a sudden you pull it in, you're like, oh, what's that? Oh, why is there a delay there? Why is that there? It's like, no, I just want to hear it. And after watching, and I got to give absolute props to Warren Hewart from Produce Like a Pro Plap. I'm a plapper. Because he's got this little series that I watched was just like mixing basics or something, and it was just went through the whole thing one at a time, real slow, real methodical, real simple. And because that was what really instigated this, was that I thought, man, it's just, getting involved watching all these other dudes mix with 60,000 everything, parallel this and sub that and parallel that. It's just too much. So yeah, we'll pull this up. Here's the 1176 that's on the Vocal Crush. 8-to-1 kind of jamming. You mess with these. And there's your vocal bus. Oh, no, not that. There's your vocal bus. It just has a little of that on it, and that goes to the grit, which you probably is off. Yeah, I didn't engage that. And then I've got my mix bus, which I did that at the end. We'll just make that neutral. And I went through a couple of the different mix bus EQs. This is the one I liked. It's the Plug-in Alliance Amic 250. I've had it. I didn't really use it all that much. I used it today. I was like, I really like the way it sounds. And I used to have a Sontec. If anybody remembers my old SSL days, I had a real Sontec 250, which I guess this is kind of a replica of. Same colored knobs, really beautiful. But the real version, the hardware would always have calibration issues. So in a way, this is kind of cooler. So again, we got the this guy, which is nothing right now. Got that on the EQ. The SSL native bus compressor, and then the Fab Filter Pro L, and that's like your final limiter. If I'm sending this thing out finished from me, and that's it. But obviously this would not be on if I was going to get it mastered or have it on very lightly. And then the last thing is the meter, and then I've got here my delay, my effects, which is a room, Valhalla room. Plate is little plate. I love that thing. Hall is Valhalla Vintage. And I've got tons of different things. I just put these up because I knew them and they were easy to use. It's really simple. Guitar Verb, I again put the little plate, but again, you can switch all this around. And all of these have the gain in front. So if they're coming, in real light, I don't want to have all the faders from the buses, like all these faders, up here. What I do is I can crank it here, or vice versa. But usually you turn it up. Turn it up. And then coming back here, now you got your delays, again, smaller to bigger. Slap. I just used all Echo Boy. It's easy. Eighth, quarter, modulation. Oh, I love this thing. I think these guys, I was watching, somebody was talking about that these guys were from Eventide, and they left and started Sound Toys. So, but this is like the H3000 split harm. Oh, it's beautiful. And then at the end, I've got Grit and Boom. Grit is Decapitator. Boom is Leapwing Route 1. And you'll see it's 10 of them. And then there's 10 of these, but I have them on a group, but I don't have these two on the group. So if you'll see, like I grouped these, you go like that, they all go. The reason is because this is more tonal and they're parked. And when I grouped it, when I did the mix and I grouped it, and then I zeroed it out and leveled it all of a sudden the mix was like, whoa. And I'm like, what happened? And I realized, oh, my grit and my boom just went up like 10 dBs each. So I pulled them back to kind of, taste where I thought they were. And I was like, okay, so I don't ever want to group these with these, because it's almost like a sub, or it's like a parallel. So I don't want that being affected by this hootenanny. So, and I've got heat on, and that's it. So there it is. So now, if I come here, right? And I go like this. Yeah, there's the whole session empty. So I can go all, just make sure there's nothing else going on here, right? Let's see. Let's go height, and we're already in all. Let's go view. Let's go volume. Remember, I'm just blowing out any hidden automation, which there shouldn't be, but it's always better to be safe than sorry. Mutes, gotta be, yeah, there's no mutes, and that's why I was saying in the mix I didn't do any automation, because I just wanted to get this thing where it needed to be, and then boom. So now I come here, and I'll just set these all to waveform, keep it simple, boom, and get out of all mode, and that's it. So the only tracks that the tracks I'm keeping are the drums, because when I get like a kick in, kick out, I can throw them in here, and the routing is already preset, and it's always pretty much the same. And a lot of this is going to get me close anyway, so that's fine. But as far as like guitars and basses, that's always unique. But there it is. So that's the whole thing. So we've got kick. We've got drums. These are audio tracks. They're blue. These are all the subs for the drums, and they all parallel over to the drum crush, which is the fatso, and then all of this comes over to the drum bus. So this becomes the final volume for the drums. Then I've got my drum verb and a snare verb, and I've just got Valhalla Rooms right now. Yeah, just simple. Yeah, I just set it to taste, and I can switch those out. And then now I've got bass crush and bass bus. So the bass would then go in here, and so all the drums would be here. Then the bass would be between this and this, boom boom, and then after bass would be all of the guitars, and this can be pianos, and it can be whatever. Like if it's a pop tune and there's like programming and string arrangements, guitar 1 could be strings, and you could just change the name to, string. Boom. All right? Except I would capitalize it, but it's crazy like that. So there's all my instruments already set with all the effects. I've already got my basic things that I might use, and everything is off. Again, sticking with, just simple stuff, man. Nothing too mind-blowing. Let me throw a channel strip over on the music bus. Come here. Let's just make it 0. Yeah, I already have some of my own presets. Like Tarek kick, Tarek go, because Tarek played a lot of drums. Morning. Oh, that was Scooter Page. That was one of our songs. Yeah, so. And then we've got 4 voc, can be lead vocals, background vocals, whatever. They all parallel into vocal crush, and then they all end up at a vocal bus. So this ends up becoming your final vocal volume. Crush is at 8-1, hitting it pretty hard, which, again, you can mix with it. You can change that. Your mix, boom, 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 and there's your meter at the end, so make sure we're not blowing it up. And then all of our effects, and then these are kind of like effects, but they're really parallels, and they're down there. And everything goes sequentially in the I/O. This is really the beautiful thing. You'll see guitar 1, guitar 2, guitar 3, acoustic guitar, keys, music crush, music bus, vocal 1, 2, 3, 4, vocal crush, vocal bus. Then you've got your effects in order: room, plate, hall, guitar verb, slap, eighth, quarter, mod, grit, boom. It's absolutely simple right from the beginning. So, and the way you do that, well, yeah, This is a little tricky. Maybe I should. Maybe I'll put out a video on how to mess with Pro Tools IO. I've become a master of it. It's not really that hard. It just took me a while because a lot of people I know are just they're maybe haphazard with it. So I wasn't like around people that were like really meticulous with it. But I wanted to be meticulous with it, so I figured out how to be meticulous with it. So there you have it. All right, and then that's it. So now, Command-Shift-U, Command-Shift-B. Now there should be nothing. So if I was to come here and go save copy in, and I would go, we'll just do all audio, I guess, right? Oh no, I don't know. I don't even want to bring over audio, would I? It'll bring the audio, not audio files. Yeah, so I don't have audio files. Yeah. That's it. I think that's it. So we'll just call this copy of mixed template. I'll change this. But we'll go into template and we'll throw it in there. Now if we close this out, we'll save where we're at. And now we come here and we've got copy of mixed template, which now is just an icon. Good stuff. Boy, look at that. And there's your template. So then you, from there, see now also I've messed with it. Man, I fly it in. It's so much simpler. And it's got all colors, like all the same couple of colors, so simple. Fly that thing in. Probably get the mix up and running in 10, 15 minutes. Probably get it sounding good in an hour. You know, but also, like, all right, so there's a part of my mentality that I want to change a little bit. Not, and everything doesn't have to be a rush. You know, I want it to be a certain way, and you know, I mean, I'm a quick person, but I don't want to box myself into like speed mixing. So there it is. Copy of mixed template 2024. So what we'll do for now, we'll save this. We're just going to chuck this because I'm going to do this a different way. I just wanted to show you guys mixed template for template. And there it is. The other thing that was really great, you know, this whole new, the more updated Pro Tools or whatever, and I've got I was running this at 128 samples. My, you know, the buffer was really, really low buffer, I guess. Low, yeah. And, you know, it used to be I'd have to have it at like, whatever, 1028, like 1,000 samples per second. Now it's like 128 or whatever, 1050. I don't know what it is, but you get the gist. Yeah, there you go. As you can tell, I don't teach this for a living. You know, it's like you kind of know, you know what you're doing, you know how to do it, but I don't even know the terminology half the time. Or people will be like, "What's that key command?" I'm like, I don't know. I go like this. You've been doing it the same thing for so long. You don't even like go, "Oh, it's Option Apple H." It's just click. It just happens. So people will ask, "What was that key command?" I'm like, I don't know. Let me figure it out. Anyway, that's the end of this. I'm stoked. I'm glad you guys are here, man. Peace.